Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. So today's story is going to be about the time that my friend almost killed someone because he took his weed, right? So yeah, let's get into it. So this story all takes place on a very normal day, right? This was in 2023, and during 2023, like early 2023, I was going to a lot of parties, right? So this was in February, right? So my friend, who actually knew this one guy, this guy was having a birthday party, right? And he invited me because, the guy said, invite whoever you want, let's make this a big birthday, right? So the nighttime comes along, I drive down to the party, and I get there. I walk inside, I meet my friend, and we're going to call him Johnny, right? So I meet Johnny, and, I meet a bunch of my other friends, a bunch of my other friends were already there. And, yeah, it just seemed like the night was going to be a great night, right? Looks like nothing was going to go wrong. But then a few hours later go by, right? So, I'm drinking a bit, just doing that stuff. I didn't get that drunk because obviously I had to drive home after the party, and I didn't want to drive home while under the influence, obviously, because that's illegal. But yeah, so going on, right? So Johnny, he comes up to me and he's like, "Yo, bro, want to come out and smoke with me?" And I'm like, "Nah, I gotta drive home, And he's like, "All right, man, that's all cool. Want to come out with me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" So I go out with him, right? And he's about to roll up the joint, right? And then this one dude comes out of nowhere, right? He's like super drunk and high. I'm pretty sure he was CrossFit, right? He comes out and he's like, "Yo, what's up, guys? Like, what y'all doing out here?" And I'm like, "What's up, bro? We're just he's just about to smoke." And he's like, "Oh, really? What kind?" And he's like, "Can I see the weed?" And Johnny's like, "It's right here, bro." And he picks it up and he's like, "Damn, bro, this is some good stuff." And Johnny's like, "Yeah, can I have it back?" And he looks at the weed, looks back at Johnny, and he puts it in his pocket, and he's like, "Nah, man, this shit mine now." And he walks back in. And I just stare at them, just in complete silence. I watch as the CrossFit guy walks back into the house, and I just see Johnny just stand there with like a blank face. And he looks at me, and he's like, "Hold on, Jacob, I'll be right back." And he walks in, right? He walks into the party. And I immediately walk in there, right? Because he starts to be walking over to the guy. And I walk in, right? Immediately, Johnny starts yelling. He's like, "Yo, dude, come back here, bro. Like, come back here." And the CrossFit guy turns around. And no hesitation from Johnny, he just straight sucker punches this dude. And he falls straight to the ground. And he's like, "What the fuck, man?" And then Johnny just gets on top of him and just starts straight just punching him. Just bashing his head into the ground. And immediately a crowd starts forming. Everyone's cheering. Everyone's like, just like getting super hyped because there's a fight going on. And everyone loves fights. But me, this was going on between a CrossFit guy and one of my friends, and I didn't want this to escalate any further, right? So I try to get Johnny off him, right? But Johnny's much taller than me, right? And I'm a very short kid. I'm only 5'6", right? I'm not that tall. I'm only 5'6", and I'm not strong either, right? So I'm trying to get Johnny off, but I can't. And Johnny just pushed me off him, and I'm like, damn. And then a bunch of other kids, right, break up the fight. They're like, break it up, stop fighting. And they're all and Johnny's like, "He stole my fucking weed." And I go over to Johnny and I'm like, "Dude, stop, come out with me." And he's like, "All right." And I take him outside, right, and I slam the door shut, right, because obviously I'm mad. And I tell him to sit on the steps, and I sit down and I sit next to him, and I'm like, "Johnny, what was that?" And he's like, "Dude, he stole my fucking weed." And I'm like, "Bro, I get that, but there's no reason to try and kill him or bash his head in or do whatever you were attempting to do. Like, that is not the right thing to do. Like, I'm pretty sure he was just joking." And he's like, "Bro, that's my fucking weed. Like, I was gonna smoke that." And I'm like, "Dude, it is in his pocket. He did not smoke it. You can still smoke it. You just have to get it back of him." And he's like, "I was gonna get back to him," and he's like, "I was gonna get it back from him forcefully." And I'm like, "Dude, sit right here for a second." And he's like, "All right." And I walk back into the party. I go over to the CrossFit guy, right? And he's got like some ice pack on his eyes. And I'm like, "What's up, bro?" And he's like, "Hey, little man, tell your friend to watch his boundaries." And I'm like, "Dude, look, he just wanted his weed back. Like, he was gonna smoke it. Can I just have it back?" And he's like, "I was gonna give it back to him, bro. I was just joking." And I'm like, "All right, well, if you're joking, just give it back to me." And he pulls it out of his pocket and he throws it at me. And he's like, "Take it." And I'm like, "Thanks, dude." And I'm like, "Also, I'm sorry about my friend." And he's like, "Yeah, your friend's a fucking asshole." And I'm like, "All right, whatever." So I walk back out, right? I go over to Johnny. And I'm like, "Here you go, you fucking pothead." And I throw it at him. And his eyes just lit up. And he's like, "Oh my god, thanks, man. Thanks so much." And he gives me a big hug. And I'm like, "Yeah. Whatever, you fucking pothead." And, we just mess around like that. And he walks back into the party. We walk back out. And he walks out to the back of the back of the house and just starts smoking up. And I sit there, we're having a good conversation. And after that, we walk back in. We just start, just going on with the party. And the funny thing is, right, is that actually the pothead and Johnny actually ended up making up, right? Like, they made up, like, and then they basically just became friends. Like, we basically all just hung out the whole night. And it was a super fun night. And I look back at this night just as, like, just as a night to remember, because it was just so crazy. And, yeah, we was going on with the party. And then towards 2 in the morning or so, the party ends. I drive home. I get home. And I just crash in my bed, right? I'm like, dude, what a fucking night. And I crash, and I wake up in the morning, and I'm just laying on my bed like, damn, that really happened. Like, that really just happened. Like, that was a crazy night. And here I am telling the story a year later. So, yeah, if you guys want more stories like this, I have a lot more. So if y'all want to hear these more weed stories or, party stories, please let me know by liking this video and subscribing, or just let me know in a comment. But, yeah, that's basically the end of the story. Moral of the story, don't kill someone over some fucking weed. It's just weed. It's not that big of a deal. Don't get addicted to this stuff, because you will get addicted to this stuff. But yeah, that's basically the end of the story. If you guys did enjoy, please be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you all for watching, and have a great day. I will see you all later. I can't believe we ended things. I am so through. Thought you would be my girl. You were my whole world, but now I watch the memories go into a swirl. Things that I